up. It's 41. It's coming from someone who was born and raised in Southern California. I don't think is too bad. I want to take a picture of this because this is funny. Anyways, hey, welcome back to the New York City vlogs. We're in Williamsburg today. I came here because I had a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Honestly, super easy though. They just left it with their doorman, picked it up. Now I have it. It's this bulletin board from Pottery Barn Teen that I have been wanting for a while because I really want a bulletin board behind my desk to put all of the post-its and notes and ideas that I have throughout the day that just live all on my desk. And lo and behold, I found it on Facebook Marketplace and I had the come up because I got it for $50. Just required a bit of a light trek. It's not even a big trek. I feel like sometimes a lot of people, especially people who live in Manhattan, they're like, oh, to go to another borough. I find myself in another borough at least once a week. I think about 3 weeks ago, I went to, I guess, 4 of the 5 boroughs in like a 48-hour span. Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and then I'm always in Manhattan because I live there. But that was a doozy. That was a lot. Oh no, the ferry is back. Sitting on the dock of the bay, waiting for this ferry to go away. I did not realize that person was coming this way. I thought they'd go this way. Before I head back home, I'm gonna pop into Saison because they now have a store in Williamsburg. I actually went to their opening a month or 2 ago, if you saw in my Instagram stories. I have some credit on my account right now, and I'm going on a girls' cozy cabin weekend trip, and I'm so excited. It's in the Poconos, which is in Pennsylvania, so we're gonna make a bit of a road trip, and something I wanna do is put together a little goodie bag, if you will, with just a few fun little cozy weekend essentials. And something that I have from Saison is this cute little beanie, and I thought it would be fun to get the girls one of their own. Gonna go do that. Then I think I'm just gonna head back home. A bit of a robust week, and then my sister-in-law is gonna come visit and stay with us next weekend, so I wanna do the prepping for that. Then I have a little nail appointment tonight because right now my nails are, one, a bit busted, but more than that, they're weak. I forgot to ask for hard gel last time. I just said gel manicure. Some of them are bending. There is nothing worse than a bendy nail. It's so painful. This is gonna be a week in my life, so that's just today. Who knows what else we'll be up to this week? Actually, I do. It's on my calendar. This is gonna be a great first vlog to start the year. Yay! I really wanted you guys to see the view, to see the vibe. I don't look as heinous as I worried I might. Yeah, my hair's a little crazy, but I'm sitting on a pier by water. There's a bit of a breeze after transiting over here. If this is the best I got, I'll take it. The pin board is so much bigger than I anticipated. I thought I could just carry it short ways under my arm. No, my arm span is not long enough. So now I've just been carrying it by the wire. However, the wire was digging into my hand so bad. So I've wrapped my bagoo bag around it. So it's not just wire digging straight into my hands. And then additionally, my height has put me at a disadvantage because with my arm fully straight, the board drags on the ground. So I have to walk with my arm at like a 120-degree angle, which is not comfy. And also a bicep workout, which I don't need right now. I had that this morning. I went to reformer Pilates. I did a sculpt class yesterday. My arms have had enough. Opening night.
Oh, the event? Yeah.
I remember you were so nice, and I just remember you were like,
Thank you. Wait,
Very successful field trip to Williamsburg. Got my pickup, got my Saison buys. Great time. I got a carnitas bowl, which sounded so good. And I got an order of French fries, which also sounded so good. I feel like I haven't had French fries in like a minute, which I am a big French fry person. I would ideally like to have them at least once a week, and I have had them 0 times this week. There's truly nothing better than the feeling of getting home and just sitting and being, whether you're taking public transportation or driving. Once again, speaking from a Southern California native who lived in Los Angeles for the last several years and dealt with anxiety, stress, and trauma that is traffic. However, public transportation, you have that extra layer of being around people, transfers, up the stairs, down the stairs, Smells. Every station of the L train, at least in Manhattan, always has a smell. On my way coming back, it smelled like a mixture of pee and deli ham, specifically. But I had a great day though. I got my bulletin board that I've been wanting for months, and I got it for $50. I had a great reformer Pilates class today that kicked my ass. My arms are noodles. But look at this. Look at this definition. I filmed the intro of this vlog in that gorgeous location. I got the cutest beanies for my friends, and also this blazer that is sold out online. I got a good amount of work done this morning. I don't know, 10 out of 10 day. And now I have delicious dinner, and I'm gonna watch Supernatural. So excited. Then I'm gonna go back to editing. I may have smelled some smells, and I may be tired, but it was a great day nonetheless. I love a french fry. It is currently 3 p.m. I cannot believe the day has flown by so quickly. I've pretty much just been filming all day. I did do some admin this morning, which is kind of just your run-of-the-mill, replying to emails, I guess something that's more content specific, scripting, outlining, storyboarding, sending analytics, doing some digital organizing, nothing particularly very exciting. So it's been a pretty low-key day today. And when I was filming outfit examples for this style tips video that I'm working on, is honestly my favorite thing to do. I love the styling process and taking just simple clothing pieces and transforming them into a full-on look. I feel like I've missed out on so many opportunities by not being more present on short form platforms. So this last year, I really focused on doing more with that. And I feel like I learned so much. I also worked with a social strategist. Basically, I think all of 2025, I actually have a meeting with her in like 30 minutes. Through this last year, she's really helped me figure out a lot of brand refining, the kind of evolution of what I want to do next, not just on short form platforms, but also on YouTube, which is kind of why I mean, I've talked about this here and there, stepping back last year from YouTube and being very not so present. But now for 2026, we're stepping back in. I am prepared, I am ready, and I feel so much more stable and confident as a creator. I feel I kind of lost that spark for a while. I think when you do something for so long, I've been on YouTube and creating content for over a decade, which is a very long time to do something. Especially with creating content, you have this, I suppose, natural evolution of wanting to shift things or evolve things based on who you are, where you are in your life, what you're doing. And I kind of felt like I had outgrown some of the styles of content I was doing, or maybe didn't necessarily work with my life anymore. I think one really big example of this is thrifting. I love thrifting. I will still do thrifting videos. However, I can't really do them in the same way that I used to do in LA, where I could just easily drive to a thrift store, pop in, film, do my thing, and then leave. Here, I either have to rent a car, I have to walk and like carry all the things that I have with me, which, you know, is fine, but it is more physically exhausting. Like if you're carrying something and then you're also trying to film, you're in a busy area, there's a lot going on, you don't have the confines of your car to be like, okay, let's reset. I can film an update here. I can put my camera on the cart. There's no carts in the stores. It's you carrying the stuff. Thrift videos don't really work in New York City in the same way. And I've done a couple here and there, but it's such a different process and experience, and there's a lot of friction to try to film a thrifting video here. So it's not like the spontaneous, like, oh, I'll go thrifting tomorrow. It's like, no, I'm gonna take the train for 2 hours into Long Island. I'm going to then take a bus or call an Uber, or okay, later this week, I want to rent a car, so I need to go onto Costco Travel, rent a car, then go pick up the car, then drive to another state or a different area to go thrifting. It's just entirely different. And I still love thrifting. There still will, of course, be thrifting videos, but that's kind of why things have naturally shifted, because things just don't flow the same way anymore. And I do miss a thrifting video sometimes. There are times where I'm like, ooh, I want to go thrifting today. And it's, you know, it's different. There's so many amazing things about New York City, things that I love, but the low-key, spontaneous thrifting at mom and pop shops for low thrifty prices is not really one of those things. Anywho, that's kind of been my experience and my process. Types of videos I will for sure be doing though are outfit videos, style tips. I want to bring back the skits at the beginning of those videos, weekly New York City vlogs like this to really document my life and share things with you guys. With that, I also want to create like mini itineraries for visiting New York. If you ever visit New York, you can come get an itinerary or an agenda or a list of recommendations or spots that you can check out in a variety of different things: food, coffee, drinks, workouts, some sewing, DIY, and crafty content, and then a little bit of home content, which I think will probably come through the vlogs more than anything. And of course, if there's anything you guys want to see, definitely please make sure to let me know. Always feel free to drop it in the comments, send me a DM over on Instagram. And if you see an idea in the comment section that you're like, I want to see this, definitely like it so I can see what the top ideas are that you guys really want to see. That is my catch up for now. I need to prep some stuff for my meeting that is now in 15 minutes. Last thing before I go though, I want to show you guys my new nails. My thing has become these cat eye nails. I find it to be a really nice blend of simple, low-key and neutral, but still having a little bit of something versus just a solid color. I am ready to start the new year. Hello from cabin day. I have a couple hours until I leave. I'm meeting my friend at the train station and then she's picking us up from there. In the meantime, I thought I should just get ready because so often on days like this where, you know, I'm leaving for a trip, even if people are coming over, like if I'm hosting, I'll put getting ready off until the last minute. Time and time again, I've learned that I end up using all the time for everything else and then I don't have time to get ready. Furthermore, do not mind the chaos in the background. Then I need to take my suitcase down. I always leave that to the last minute because Luna starts panicking. She gets worried. Right now the group message is popping because we're figuring out last minute logistics. We already have our time and place to meet, but now it's kind of just adjusting for people's work schedules. My friends work corporate or more traditional like medical field type of jobs. Also, my friends are so sweet because I shared that I really wanted to shoot content this weekend and they were hyping me up. Love my friends. Like, it makes sense if you're doing something with other creators. Everybody is kind of shooting content, and even though it's not their realm or what they do, they're so sweet and supportive. Here is what I have to do before I leave on the trip today. All the things that I've pulled, I have to pack. I am the baked good gal in our group, and I was like, what baked goods do you guys want? I got a request for chocolate chip cookies. I thought I had enough face masks in my stash, but I don't. So my husband is running over to Sephora for me. And then I pulled some lip products that I had in my PR stash that I'm also going to put with the beanies. Something I put on my goals for this year that I want to get back to learning French because I loved learning French, and I still independently practice vocab and pronunciation because I don't want to lose that. The place I was taking French lessons from before actually has their flagship location in New York. It's called Coucou. I'm not enrolling first thing of the year because I do have some obligations that would get in the way, even though you can do makeup lessons. It's not the same as being able to be in person every week, showing up consistently. Favorite eyeshadow palette. What the heck is going on outside? Very New York soundtrack right now. I have very oily eyelids. I don't know why, but they are just oily. So I always try to mattify them as much as possible because if I don't, even if I'm wearing waterproof mascara, waterproof eyeliner, it runs under my eye. In addition to being visually something I like, this also serves preventatively. Lip liner, matching lipstick. This is the L'Oreal Color Rich, the shade Worth It Medium. I love this lipstick. Now I let this sit for a second, and in the meantime, I'm gonna do my highlighter. Bridge my nose, tops of my cheekbones, brow bone, inner corner. I'm gonna do a little bit more blending while the lipstick is sitting in, just at my hairline. We're gonna soak up excess lipstick. It's no longer as mauvey as it was. Then my favorite part, the gloss on top, which I use the Fenty oil. This is in the shade Fussy 01. The perfect, pretty, sparkly pink. Brush all the hairs that surround your face because makeup gets here. There's sometimes where it's so frustrating, but then other times, having a thicker, coarser hair strand really allows you to have these heat styled hair looks last for days. Like, I think this is day 3. Not bad for day 3. A good makeup day and a good leftover hair day is everything. Take this for posterity. have those skills. And inside there's also a face mask. Oh my gosh, you're welcome.
You're so cute.
Happy cabin weekend.
Yes.
We're on day 2 of the cabin trip. Today we've just kind of had like a chill morning. We did a workout, which was fun and very random. But my friend Georgie was like, hey, let's try this workout that I've been doing on YouTube. Someone named Joe, and that was super fun. And then we went to a winery, hung out there for a while, just chilled. And now we're at the outlet mall. We're kind of just bopping around here, peeking into some of the stores, seeing what's what. And that's been our day so far.
With flash on.
A little bit before Christmas, I came across this really cool workshop, this textile intensive, hosted by the New York Sewing Center in collaboration with Fab Scrap, which is a textile recycling warehouse in Brooklyn. I really wanted to go, and my husband very kindly booked me a spot as a Christmas present, and this was such a cool workshop. I seriously learned so much. I took 5 pages of notes. We learned about different weave types, the difference between knits and wovens, how to identify those, the different use cases for each type. We also learned about the 4 groups of fiber types: naturals, synthetics, regenerated, and blends, and how to identify them by different characteristics, which is what I'm doing here. This is called a burn test, and this is used to help identify what a fabric is, especially for recycling, which is kind of the second half of the workshop. We learned all about textile recycling and circularity within the fashion industry, and this was so fascinating to learn so much about the collection and sorting process of how textile recycling happens. And like I said, I just learned so much and took so many notes, and I'm still trying to figure out how I want to disseminate this information to you guys. I feel like it'll probably just come throughout different fashion videos over the course of this year. So if I just start dropping some really depthy type of things, please know that so much of this was learned at this textile workshop. It was so cool. And then after, on the second day, I hosted a fun little vision board party. We're out trying to shoot some photos. We've come back to the Williamsburg pier, and we may have gotten some photos, but it is too cold to peruse through said photos. So we're gonna go fake shopping somewhere to warm up and then continue back with the photo excursion. Thank you. I'm like doing the most kitty cat steps ever to make sure I don't slip.
Penguin step. It's so icy.
Penguins. I love penguins. We're gonna take some photo booth pics. Why would they not put a bench in?
Are you about to squat the whole time?
Yeah. All right, chair pose. Let's go. Here we go.
Glass. Okay, now glasses on. Look cool. And now put your gloves on, like New York.
How'd you do that so? Oh, I made a face. How did you do that so fast?
Because I had it on my lap.
We tried.
I feel like,
I think we may have at least gotten a couple.
I think if we combine what we just did.
Yes. We should go run around and find the photo booths in the city.
I agree.
There's so many good ones.
That would be fun. comparing them, this one gets a 0 out of 10 for timing.
Well, we just did our photo booth.
We tried.
We attempted. We got some winners. I will say this is not my favorite photo booth. It was so fast. There's no preview. The timing was terrible. $8 for no preview is crazy.
I dig this actually. I like
That's
this
kind of
one.
fun.
I mean, you look good. I'm barely in them.
Which is crazy because you were sitting on the seat.
I don't even know.
Maybe I just have a big head and it just worked out. All right, big heads rise up. Good morning. Got my breakfast here, a little yogurt bowl with peach Icelandic yogurt, blueberry hemp granola, chia seeds, and some honey. Did not anticipate that happening. Let's have a little catch up over breakfast. So I haven't vlogged in like a week and a half. I was really on top of filming this vlog, and then so many things happened, and I was going to just abandon this vlog and start from scratch because I felt that I had like already screwed up. Though a well progressed through vlog, I didn't think it was good enough. And so this is me now forcing myself to get over that. This is something I struggle with so much. Not giving up on something or entirely restarting from scratch every single time something doesn't go perfectly exactly right, and or that it wasn't the best, most amazing thing ever. And I really think I struggle with this because growing up Asian American, being half Filipino, I was taught from the most earliest of ages that something is not really worth doing unless you are the best at it. And if you're not the best at it, then it's not really worth doing until you can do it the best. I think this is something that I've really found myself struggling with in the last couple of years because when you're younger, when you're in your early 20s or a teenager, you can really brute force your way through this thinking. You can overcome it a lot of times truly just by the lack of your frontal lobe being developed. You can just really bullhead the way through. However, as you become older and your frontal lobe does develop, it becomes a lot harder to do that brute force process because now the rational and logical side of your brain is so developed. I find myself not able to do that anymore. I talk myself out of stuff. I'm just like, well, what is the point? And this isn't even necessarily like a truly 100% conscious thought process. When I talk about it, it always feels silly, but I think a lot of internal struggles do feel silly once you talk about them out loud because you realize the flaws and fallacies within said thought process. But when something is so subconscious and you're just thinking it and then you're feeling those thoughts, it makes 100% sense. You're just like, well, this didn't go exactly right. Let me stop effectively giving up and start again. And to me, in my subconscious brain, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, this didn't go exactly right. Let me start it over again where I can make it perfect. And I realize that is why I'm not getting anywhere with creating these vlogs. I have such a specific vision for what I want these vlogs to be, how I want them to be, and
I realized something very much yesterday. I was watching one of Kelly Wakasa's videos. When my husband and I were eating dinner, we put on one of his vlogs because we really like watching his vlogs together. I love a vlog. I always find myself watching them through a kind of dual lens. One as just a viewer enjoying the experience, then also as a content creator. And I'm really looking at like the different shots they're doing, how they're telling the story, how they're bringing you along, the editings, the camera placement, the lighting. Then as I was having this thought process, I paused the video and I turned to my husband. We were reflecting on this and his variety of shots and all the things and admiring the video. And then I realized I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to improve my skill of thinking of what shots to grab and telling a more visually compelling and interesting, cool, dynamic, fun story unless I do it. You don't get better at a skill unless you're practicing it. Obviously, that is such an obvious conclusion. And sometimes some hobbies and skills are truly just for fun, but there's 0% chance of getting better at something unless you try. There's not gonna be like an instant moment where all of a sudden you want to be better at something, or you've watched someone else doing something, or you've thought about it so many times that you're just like better. Unfortunately, you have to just be bad at things, or subpar, or just okay, or good enough, and keep doing it until you potentially get better. And across the board, I find myself admiring content creators who are so good about, if they're filming a week in my life, like showing up every single day and filming that week in my life, or going through a day and really capturing that day or trip. And I find that unless something went perfectly, I have this innate pull to abandon it and restart and shoot for that exact perfect specific vision, which is so tunnel visioned. As I rationally know, and so many of us know, that things so rarely go perfectly exactly how we want them to go. It is so incredibly rare. All this to say, this is me attempting to keep moving forward, to overcome that impulse of wanting to abandon things and restart every single time something did not go exactly perfect. I think to further this sentiment, I also asked you guys over on my Instagram stories, what are some videos you want to see now that I'm back on YouTube? And one of you guys said, don't care as long as it's more frequent. And honestly, bars, Sarah. I'm very excited about vlogging and weekly vlogging, especially now coming out of winter. I mean, we still have winter ahead, but warmer seasons ahead is very encouraging and exciting, especially for vlogging, because like it's not very fun to vlog during the winter, which I think is another thing. See, I think this is a great example now because my radiator started going off and then my camera ran out of memory. And now I'm on my phone. And I feel like before I would have been like, I need to refilm it so it's all on one camera. I feel like the differences are probably marginal. We are showing up. We are letting good be good enough, because most importantly, we are here. I am extending this to all of us in case you resonate or relate. Yeah, you okay? To kind of close the loop on this story, the other half of why I didn't film for like a week and a half is New York City snowstorm, being inside for several days. But while that was happening, I started the gnarliest period of my life. During that time period, I finally started my incredibly very irregular cycle, which I had skipped 2 of. And so this one was just a very maxed out period. For further context, I was stuck in my luteal cycle for 2 months. And so when I finally started, all the hormones, all the everything had built up, and it kind of just hit me like a bus. And I had a couple really rough days, and it was not great. Because of that, and because of how cold it was from the snowstorm, I was doing a lot of working from bed or working from couch because I wanted to just be cozy. That then my ergonomics were so bad that I then screwed up my shoulder because of the other aforementioned things. I wasn't working out. I wasn't regularly stretching it or getting the movement enough that probably lubricates my joints. Lack of movement, bad ergonomics, boom, screwed up my shoulder to the point that it hurt to breathe. And it was like this for like 3 or 4 days. I could not lift my arm like this, or do any sort of rotation. I just had to keep my arm down here. I got a sports massage, and that significantly helped. Between that, resting my arm, doing a lot of at-home stretching, and being very specific about how I was sleeping to not further agitate it. I feel like it's like 95% back. I did go to a hot yoga class yesterday. I didn't have any pain or spots where I had to sit out. I really think the heat helped loosen things up now that it wasn't so locked and in pain. It just really allowed my muscles to relax and get the stretch in. I really focused during my practice on stretching, really breathing through things. Things went well. And now today I have a hot mat Pilates class coming up in a couple hours. I'm not typically a midday workout person, but after not being so active the last week and a half, 2 weeks, my body is really craving some movement. We use weights, we use props like resistance bands or those rings, those dreaded rings. Those are so hard. So yay, love that. Appreciate our bodies, appreciate mobility and movement. Mobility and movement and being able to move my body is something I value so much. As some of you guys may remember, a couple years ago, I struggled with chronic nerve pain, and I still struggle with it now. I don't really talk about it much anymore because it kind of got crazy when I was talking about it. I was already just struggling with that both physically and mentally, and then to have so much conversation about it, which was all for the most part very well intentioned, but it was so much. And sometimes people would send me messages that were very scary, and then I started having a lot of health anxiety, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this. I'm gonna stop sharing it. And I will say it has improved, it has gotten better, but I still have bouts where it gets bad. It's nothing like it was during that time period. I think having so much time where I was at home all the time and not having enough things in my life to distract or fill up my life. Like now I have a very full, robust life. All the dynamic things I do in New York, both in a fitness and in just like a lifestyle way. And I feel that from my experience, that has helped so much with, I don't know if my brain is just too busy to both be having an experience and sending pain signals to my body, or if I'm just so immersed in what's going on that I don't notice it as much. Like it's just running in the background as RAM and I'm just focused on the task at hand. I don't question it. If I'm not having pain, I'm trying to just enjoy the moment. And sometimes it does come out of nowhere, which is always scary. I'm just like walking around the city and I'm like, and it just knocks me out. I feel like I'm being stabbed, or I kind of fall and I just have to lean on a building and work through the pain for a while until it goes away or reduces enough that I can continue forward. As my long update from not talking about this for years, that's kind of where I am. And I'm grateful for the mobility, for the good days, for being able to move my body and not think about it a lot of days. When it was bad, it was so bad, guys. Like I was walking with a cane in the house we rented in Austin. We had stairs and my husband had to carry me up the stairs. He had to brush my hair. He took over all of the home and cooking tasks. It was really bad. My muscles were atrophying from lack of movement because my pain was so bad that I would just be in bed or on the couch for such long periods of time. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for mobility and being able to do things and lead a fairly straightforward, not pain-free, but pain-reduced life, and I am so grateful for that. So just a reminder to be grateful for all the functions your body does, whether you notice them or not, because so often bodies are doing lots of cool things that we don't even know they're doing, and they let us live the life we're living. So yeah, well, that's my catch up in speech for this morning. I have not even made it very far into my granola bowl. I genuinely have had maybe 2 or 3 bites. I feel like I should actually just have my breakfast now. I've also gotten some very nice PR lately, so I'm currently taking some photos of it to shout out on my Instagram story, because the brands who send this, the PR and marketing folks who take the time to put these together and then send them to creators, please know it is so appreciated. I'm currently photographing Josie Moran. They always keep me stocked up on their body butter. I have not tried this one yet. This is their Pink Algae Pro Retinol Body Butter. My favorite of these body butters is Golden Hour. They also sent this body gua sha, which I'm very intrigued about. I love a face gua sha. I don't know, I feel like I used to be better at a flat lay. I attempt to try my best. Maybe that's kind of a vibe. Maybe I should put that there. If you guys ever wonder about a product and you've seen me use it, feel free to always DM me or comment on a video asking about it. I will always give you the tea. I try so many products and different things, from hair care, skin care, beauty. Even if you're wondering about a clothing brand, ask me about it. I will tell you about sizing, fit, feel, comfort, longevity, wash recommendations. L'Oreal sent their telescopic extensionist mascara curl products to try from Garnier. They sent a gel, a mousse, and an air dry cream. I didn't even know that they had curl/wave products. Beauty of Joseon sent their Revive Firming Moisturizer. I got this Cryo Chill face mask from Derm Store. You put it in the freezer, put it on your face. Last thing to highlight are a few products from Amika, which I'm so excited to now be on their PR list. They're one of my favorite hair care brands, and they sent 2 nourishing hair masks, one of which I'm going to give to a friend. And then they sent their Normcore shampoo and conditioner. I already have 1 or 2 of their wavy/curly hair products, and I love those so much. I also have their finishing spray, I have their dry shampoo. Those were me purchases, but like I said, very excited to be on their PR list. I will let you know how they are, but I can already tell you, brand-wise, big fan of Amika. Are you heading out? I'll give you an air hug. Bye-bye. My husband is heading to the gym right now, and that has made me want to change into my workout outfit, even though I don't leave for quite some time. I have quite a bit of time ahead of me. Sometimes I just like to change into the outfit so I know I'm ready, I don't lose track of time. Set from Athleta. This is not only my favorite, but also the only deodorant that I can use, because quite literally almost every single other deodorant I'm allergic to. If a deodorant has the ingredient propylene glycol, which a lot of deodorants do, if the deodorant has smooth application, it likely has propylene glycol. It's a very popular ingredient, but I am very allergic to it. I get chemical burns from propylene glycol. It starts as red and then it turns black. It's not a pretty sight. And then so many other deodorants that don't have that ingredient, I don't know why, but my skin doesn't like them and it just gets red and irritated. So shout out to me rediscovering wild. I think I actually want to put on my contacts for Pilates, so when I walk into the hot studio, my glasses don't fog up. I always get really disoriented when that happens. But anyways, in my quest for a deodorant that I was not allergic to, I came across Wild. It's a refillable deodorant. If they ever want to sponsor me, I will happily take that sponsorship. I'm a big fan. It's a more sustainable option. You just have the 1 case and then you refill the inserts. They have so many different cases. Officially in sport mode. Amazing workout. Booty is sufficiently kicked. And I feel really proud of myself. This weighted hot mat Pilates class, I thought I was definitely gonna feel weaker. I felt very strong today. I felt very proud, and now I feel very sweaty. So I am excited to shower, but yay for a great workout class. We're both home from our workouts. We're about to have lunch. We've got a dense bean salad left over with chicken on top. You can't even see this, what the heck? Also got little eye patches on. Got our water. Gonna watch what is his name? Alex Myers video, because if we watch Supernatural, we won't stop. We can't have that today.
We have things to do.
How was your workout?
Good.
Yeah.
Strong today.
Me too. That's that. He's still here. I still have one. Referencing how people every so often will be like, are you divorced? Do you still have a husband? He's still here. Food about to be ate. YouTube video cued. Vibes. Good. What have you made?
I have made these. Okay, good. I can touch them. I thought they'd be really hot.
Oh my
I tried to
gosh.
grab it earlier. I was like, ah, chocolate lava cake. Oh, they are hot. Oh, they are hot.
Wow.
I don't know if it's supposed to be caved in at the top like that. Here's the cute one. Should have been made with salted butter. I just finished a meeting and I was like, I need a sweet treat. So I tried to make lava cake. I would use cupcake tins. I would use salted butter. Notice there was no salt in the recipe, but I thought maybe there's a reason for that.
You should write that into the cookbook. Dressed, ready. This is what I've decided to wear. The event I'm heading to is an early Valentine's Day cozy evening with Knix. So my sweater is very Valentine's Day color palette. This is the bag I'm gonna do. This burgundy moon-shaped bag from Fossil. And these are my little bag charms. I get so many compliments on this little olive martini one. And it's also stabby. So if I ever wanted to stab someone in the leg, I'm ready. And then I'm gonna just wear my camel colored coat. Then the shoes I'm gonna do are a bit of a risk because it is still snowy out. However, it's snow embankments now. Things have been pushed to the side, so I shouldn't be stepping in any snow. But suede shoes, a touch of a risk, but the vibe is right. I'm gonna pack it in my bag. This white knit scarf I will wear down there over my coat. And then my last thing to do is to choose a fragrance, something that feels Valentine's Day forward. This is my favorite daily perfume. I love this perfume, but I don't think it's right for tonight. No, this is too spring. Maybe? No, maybe. Why is a Libre? Sounds my sweet. I love a song. Back home, thought we'd unbox the blind date book, recap of the summary for you. So they did a collab with the Ripped Bodice, which is this really cool romance bookstore in Brooklyn. If you ever want a cool bookstore to go to, would highly recommend the Ripped Bodice. Sun, music, and romance that hits all the right notes. Friends to lovers, flirty, and full of heart. And it's a 3 spice level. The other one that I was between, and then I was like, I don't actually remember any of the synopsis really that much, except there was a demon involved. And it was giving supernatural, but it could go like potentially supernatural vibes, which is what I would have wanted it to go, or it could go like off the cuff. So I did not pursue that one. But I was like, the interest was piqued. Ooh, okay, I have not read this. Ooh, okay, I've not even seen this. It's called You Had Me at Hola. Leading ladies do not rebound with their new co-stars. Ooh, maybe I'll save this for Argentina. Maybe that'll be my book. This sounds like a fun book.
Look who came with the spicy books.
Hello for the spicy books. In my goodie bag that they give us, first and foremost, I got a new bra, which I'm so excited. I was just saying I need to go bra shopping soon.
Was it just like a bra or do you get to pick your size?
I submitted my stuff ahead of time. Yeah, it's been a while since I've tried a new bra brand, especially one that's in a more traditional style. Lately, I've been wearing a lot of, for the last couple of years, I've been wearing a lot of bralettes. I will let you know how it goes. Potential with this. I got the ultra thin leak-proof bikini bottom, AKA period underwear. Very intrigued to try this. Sayang that it wasn't like last week when I was going through it when I was in the trenches.
And you could have tested it properly.
I also really appreciate that they're in a neutral shade. Last thing I got, pair of pajamas they gave us. It is modal, which is known for being very, very soft.
I remember. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, they have pockets. I can put goodies in here. Receiving a PJ set is a gifting is like the ultimate win. This is great. What a fantastic me-coded gifting. I got a bra, I got period underwear, and I got pajamas. And a spicy book.
You got 2 things when you go out, 2 things when you stay in, and a book for either or.
Ooh, a mix and match. And then last thing, I wrote you a letter. They had a Valentine's Day station. Do you want to read it?
Do I read it now?
Yeah.
Do I read it to the people?
You don't have to read it to the people. You could just read it.
Is it 3 spices of spicy?
It's 4 spices. It's just writing like a spicy Valentine's Day card in public. Imagine there's a drawing, a tutorial, a drawing tutorial. Yo, that's crazy.
I like it. Very cute. Thank you.
Romantic.
Cute. You're the one and only.
Thanks for being here for my unboxing.
Thanks for inviting me.
I feel very proud of myself for completing the vlog, making things despite them not matching up perfectly with our vision or what we expected, and overcoming expectations and just letting things be what they are. I'm so good with that in other areas of my life, but when it comes to content creation, especially this whole vlogging thing, I get really tripped up on that. So I feel very happy and proud of myself for now having completed this vlog. I kind of anticipate this being a longer vlog, so if you're here still, please let me know in the comment section that you watched all the way through. I would love to know, and thank you so much for watching all the way through. I think today truly was the perfect day to end this vlog. I think this was a very full circle, comprehensive day. Also, let me know if there's anything you want to see more of, if there's anything you're particularly interested in. I'm still very new with the whole vlogging thing, and with wanting to make this a big part of my channel this year and really do a weekly vlog and splice it up with a fashion or home type of video. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of experimentation and trying things with the vlogs. So if there's anything you wanna see, make sure to let me know. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so very much once again for sticking around. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. That's all I got. Love you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys.